Most people know me as Sonny, and I do a lot of active stuff in politics as well. I'm the president and founder of the controversial Co.Tea Party. But we are the same belief as Warren County Tea Party that we should have small government, fiscal responsibility, and free markets. Latest fair should be the hand, not the iron hand and the velvet glove of government that you see under the Bush and Obama administrations. One of the problems I find out from just talking to general people in the workforce is that they no longer trust the Republican branding. And there's a reason for that. Many of them go to office and they do the complete opposite of what they pledge they're going to do. Or like Casey, signs a pledge for certain tea parties and then reneges on it when he gets elected. When that happens, we need to rise up and say, buddy, you're going to be facing recall if you keep on pulling shenanigans like that. You know? So what we need to do is we need to become the party of small government, not just smaller government. Oftentimes you see Democrats take a train off a hill at 100 miles an hour, Republicans go about 80. That's about the only difference. I label myself as a Jeffersonian Republican because I believe Thomas Jefferson was one of our wisest of our founding fathers. He had many great things to say. And if you've ever been to Monticello, you can see the mind of the man just inside of his house. Incredible thing. I profess, since I'm running for a state central committee, that one of our jobs is that we obviously have to vote for any type of appointments that may come up on the state level. And I can tell you right now, it's rhino season. I'm on safari. Lock and load, baby. Saddle up, and I'm ready to go. Because we get too many Republicans that are being look like Democrat light, like John McCain. And as you see, many counties in Arizona have actually voted to censor him out. How could you have a great Republican such as Barry Goldwater and go to John McCain and still keep him? I don't understand that. What we need to understand is that in the great sovereign state of Ohio, we are states. We are not zip codes within the federal government. And we need to remind the federal government that every day. We need to remind that gold and silver should be allowed tender currency within the sovereign state. We should nullify the National Defense Authorization Act. We should nullify Obamacare in its entirety that South Carolina is getting ready to do. If they do that, they set a precedent for all of the states to follow. And I think that's paramount that we get people in elected positions or appointed positions when necessary that follow the Constitution, and when they take their oath of office, they mean it. And join oath keepers if necessary to underscore when they take their pledge that they mean it and stick by it. And that's what I did. When I took my oath in Warren County Central Committee, I meant every word I said. And I said it before everyone here and before God. And so I have to go judged by him if I were to renew that agreement, that's for sure. One of the things I want to point out is like one people talked to me during last debate was the fact that why do we even have a Libertarian Party? Because of the fact that those constitution-minded individuals have left the GOP because the GOP most of the time do not follow their own platform. So again, we have a serious branding problem. Now, my record while I was in Warren County Central Committee is posted on my website. You go to thomasforohio.org and you can see who I voted for and why. And I would do the same on the state level and follow my Twitter account and everything else. And I would say specifically what I say and I mean what I say. And when we have representatives such as Ron Mag, who votes against the expansion of government in the state of Ohio, they need to be endorsed by the Republican Party, not thrown under the bus. So, Ron Mag, I tip of the hat to you, sir. You stood up against the growth of government, and we should stand behind you 110%. Now, I have a duty to my constituents as well as everything else. You know, I mean, my family, my constituents are just all one and the same, really, because they're the ones going to put me in office. And one of the things that we got to look at is we've got to stop these Bush-era Republicans. You know, we need to get some strong, fiscally minded people like Kelly Coles who actually have results. And when the media chastises them, we need to stand by them 110% and say, you did a good job, Kelly. And I sincerely mean that. My definition of a good, solid conservative Republican or a constitutionalist is going all the way back to Thomas Jefferson, Barry Goldwater, and Ron Paul. These are men that stood up, and these are true statesmen that have said, hey, we are states, and we are going to stand as sovereign states. And when the federal government tries to give us mandates we don't agree with, we need to say, hell no. And we have one word for things such as Obamacare and National Defense Authorization Act. It's called nullification. And we've seen that Madison and Jefferson led us the way in the Kentucky and Virginia resolutions, in states such as South Carolina, which is, again, maybe firing Fort Sumter again. If they nullify Obamacare, we have a precedent. We must follow that as a state. Ohio is the greatest state in the union for several reasons. We have more metropolitan complexes than any other state. We have the excellent blend between agrarian and industrial, and we've got great leadership and hard-working hands in this Republican Party that decides presidents. We've had 8 presidents from Ohio more than anybody else, 7 of them Republicans. I think it's about time we start putting Republicans in the White House from the great sovereign state of Ohio. So lastly, on May the 6th, I hope you vote for me for Central Committee.